Yeah, Slapstick Festival celebrates silent comedy, visual comedy, classic comedy, and it's the largest festival of its kind in the world. And it's been running for 15 years, and it's been growing with double the size of the festival in the last 4 years. So it's and it's unique. It's a one-off, really. Nothing else like it on the planet. Before I decided to take Lifehack Bootcamp because I knew that I couldn't carry on the way I was. I wouldn't be successful in a year's time. I just knew that if I didn't do something to get above the waterline, I was going to go under, that I would never be a success, really. I could struggle along maybe for a few more years, but I couldn't sustain it. I was exhausted, flat out, didn't have anything to give anymore. And I think my work was beginning to suffer, so I consider myself a creative, and my programming and the elements weren't as rich, as interesting as they could be. I was getting fed up at work more, and I love my job. So I was just feeling like, what's the point of all this? I'm not enjoying myself. I don't like going into work anymore. Everything's a hassle. And I just felt so desperate. I was reaching out, really, with the hope that at least if something could change, if I could just get my head above water, that would be enough and it would be worth it. What was really attractive to me about coming to bootcamp was the idea that I could do the same amount of work, maybe in less time, and free up time to live my life more fully. And that was really attractive to me and really appealed to me. And also just the idea of understanding there might be systems out there that I could work that would make me more productive, so I could be more effective, because there's something quite soul destroying about working, reinventing the wheel for me, every year. I'm just doing the same things over and over and over again and still making the same mistakes every year. And what I needed was to believe that I was good enough. And the reason I was in the position I was in was I was already successful, but I didn't feel I was successful because I just kept getting the simple stuff wrong, the basics wrong. I didn't have a system. I didn't know what to do. I came into it because it got bigger than me. It was a hobby that grew into a project, that grew into a business, that grew into my job. And I didn't have the skills. I never had the training. And that's why I was drawn to Lifehack Bootcamp. Since Lifehack Bootcamp, everything in my life is exponentially better, beyond my expectations. God, everything's changed. Everything's changed. So I'm a bit emotional, really. So yeah, I feel like I've got my family back. I feel really connected to my partner, to my wife, to the kids. I'm available. I feel more available. There's space in my mind. I'm thinking differently because I've got good strategies for life. When I'm at work, I'm really productive and present and focused, and I'm enjoying it, and it's fun. So everything's changed. So I'm blown away by the experience. It's been extraordinary, and it's even better than I imagined it would be, hearing the testimonials, and I haven't even finished yet. So it's that good. I think what I brought to Lifehack Bootcamp was I worked really hard. So it's a tough course, really tough. And I practiced. It's a bit like that, the 12-step thing about, it works if you work it. So the tools I was given, the hard work's about putting those into practice. So things like pre-planning really transformed, every single step transformed my life and work a little bit more. And the way it was constructed allowed me to do it a little bit at a time to build up towards something. So it began and it built slowly into a crescendo, because each thing stacked upon the next thing and led to even more understanding and more revelation, which led to that week being a bit easier and better. And strategies like how to deal with overwhelm, how to anticipate things that might go wrong in the week, as well as what goes right. Don't pack your schedule out, but anticipate in advance. Rituals for switching off and pre-planning at work and winding down. All of those things, it doesn't live in my head anymore. So having done that, but it does take effort to be disciplined, to wake up in the morning, do the routine, go into work, even if we're running a bit late, got stuck in traffic, do the routine before I start work, push other stuff back. but do it from a place of confidence and a place of assurity of knowing that because this works, it's going to be okay, and I can take it a step at a time. So yeah, in that way. But I couldn't say it's an easy course, because it isn't, and it's hard work, and anybody coming into it should know that you bring your best. But what it does is it's helped me to become the best me that's always been in there, that I've never really been able to access. It's fantastic. I think for me, it's hard to say, isn't it? I imagine there's another coach who could do it as well as Demir, maybe, but it's certainly his passion and energy. And even when he's not doing the live stuff with you and you're running through the course content, he's still very present, and you feel like he's got your back. You feel like he really he cares about it. And it's his passion. He wants you to succeed. And even though you know he's going to be really sort of disciplined about when he is available, when he is, he's 110% on your side. You feel like you've got a world-class coach by your side through the whole experience. And that holding is something that's really central to it, in my experience. I think knowing that somebody has created this, pulled this together, and has taken the time to work out which element, at which time, in which way, and has worked it for years, I think that's an extraordinary contribution to the planet, and to be able to offer that to people to transform their lives. You know, I'd say it's quite a spiritual thing that he's doing there, really. I know it's a business too, of course, and it's awesome. It's great. So he's extraordinary. To get the most out of the experience of Lifehack Bootcamp, I think the important thing is to bring some humility, the understanding that you're there to learn, and you're there to have an experience, and maybe don't know everything already, and there's so much more all the time that could improve things, really. And just to acknowledge the truth about your situation and get absolutely stuck into the course and do all the content, and to bring your best, and only do it if you can create the space to do it. If you're going to just bring half of it, I wouldn't recommend doing it, really. It's all in, and then you get the results.